Hello, my friends. Today's date is December the 8th, and this is a birthday reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a year long reading for the year to follow, and it is four cards: a general energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. So, what is the general energy card for the year but the Queen? And the Queen, there's an understanding that if the king is ego, the queen is that voice of the ego out in the world. The kings and the queens are often given the understandings that they've mastered something, they've mastered life in some kind of form. Queens of air, fire, water, and earth each have their own domain that they have come through to become the masters of. The king is kind of the epitome and has finished his studies. The queen is the one now who's embodying those studies and living them out in the world. So the queen is one who is often full of analysis, but also full of understanding and compassion and emotional integrity. So the queen, in her highest form, can be a kind of a sense of sacredness and trust and openness, the ability to bring others along in whatever pursuit. She knows how to talk to people in languages that they understand. She knows how to get things emotionally calm in people so things can move forward in a balanced way. She understands the need for compassion for those wounded souls who need to share something deep but don't have anyone to share them with. So the queen can be, the mother, the great mother, the great feminine presence in the world, the great understanding of how civilization works, quote, when you both can understand both the wild nature of self and the tamed nature of self and the higher kind of aspirations that can take us through. So the queen, in her highest realm is that sense of trust and patience and compassion and resolve that gets things done. And in her lower sense, she can be, a bitch. She can be a selfish energy that only sees herself or a limited group as the ones worthy of or in need of at this time, and can't find a way to find the compassion for other people, and can't find the way to even hear other people, and might be limited in her trust and limited in her scope and reduced to kind of petty and mean things that are done. And we all go there. I mean, that's human. We're all human. That's the human condition, and that's what we're trying to understand. Our sense of right and left sides, aggression and reception, analysis and intuition. Those are the king and the queen. And when they meet in the heart, which is what the queen talks about, when they meet in the heart, do we understand how to go forward with analysis, but say, oh, this person doesn't want to go along with me with that. What's going on with you? How can I help you? What's wrong? Is there something underneath you that we can share, that we can talk about? And they share with you, and you can understand where they come from, and you can understand their side of things, and you can work out something. Quite possibly, but at least you hear them and they hear you, and they feel like they're fed and you feel like you're fed, and maybe you can work out something a little bit different that works for them. But you have to do that with every person, and that's what the queen talks about, the ability to either do that with each person and understand them and invite them in and go deeper with them and hear their untamed parts and say blessings, that's okay, you're still loved, you're still welcome, how can we work together, how can we live together, how can we love together? So what is your particular challenge December 8th? Well, it is the Seven of Wands. On some level this year, I think you feel like you want to stand up for your beliefs, you want to stand up for your inspirations, you want to stand up for your integrity of your soul, and you're willing to fight about it, and you're willing to hold yourself forward in it, and even if you have to do it alone, and that is your challenge. I think that you have some kind of inspiration, but you're afraid to share it, and you're afraid that you're going to have to stand alone, and you're afraid that you're going to have to hold it up and be under a lot of people who come to you and might be bored with you, or might want to fight you back, or might laugh at you, or might want to join you, but more than likely you feel like you're alone and lonely, and you're afraid to step forward with whatever is really kind of goading your soul that says, but your integrity says to do this, but your mind might be saying, oh, but I'm afraid of that. And your emotions might be saying, oh, well, that might be creating waves. And your physical body might be saying, oh, but that could bring danger to me. All those things can be wrapped up in this Seven of Wands of a fear of standing up for your integrity, and fear of standing up for your inspiration, fearing of standing up for the sense of sacred truth underneath your belief systems. So what is the action to take? Well, it is the rabbit. And the rabbit is really about gentleness. You have the Queen's understanding inside of you that says, you're not going to get far if you have to beat somebody down. You're not going to get far if you have to talk somebody down or be mean to somebody. That's usually not going to get you far with your inspirations. You have to bring somebody in with inspiration, with an invitation, not with a cudgel, and not with an axe, and not with a threat of death. And so to do that for others means you have to do that for yourself, and you have to be gentle to yourself, and you have to be loving to yourself, and you have to be that kind rabbit to yourself, and you have to let yourself go into your den and go into retreat when you need to, and get quiet and get space and get yourself some comfort, and then you can come out into the world. And the other side of rabbit is, then don't go out and stand in the middle of the field like rabbit does and say, oh, please don't eat me, Mr. Eagle, and please don't eat me, Mr. Coyote, and please don't eat me, Mr. Fox. I'm standing here. I'm just trying to be quiet and not let you see me, but I'm going to stand here and I'm just going to wait and hope you bypass me. Don't. That is the sense of the rabbit's pain. So you have the rabbit influences. You have the rabbit influxes. You know when it's a good time to be quiet, and you know when it's a good time to blend into the background, but you know when it's a good time to come out and forage and do the things you need to do, and you know when it's a good time to go and take care of yourself and nurture yourself and love yourself and go sleep and go eat inside your and play with your family and eat outside, bring food back to your family maybe, but go inside with your family and rest and recreate yourself and love yourself. It's not gonna, I think with this card that it's not going to be easy to fight for what you believe in, but you believe in it so much. There's that Queen. There's a sense of, you have a higher truth and a higher honesty and a higher sense of self and purpose and divinity, and you want to stand up for it, but you're afraid to, and you can't let yourself feel that what might be abandoned by everybody else. But if you're the Queen, you don't have to, you can open yourself up, share your truth, invite people in, talk about things, hear each other's side, be gentle with each other, find the rabbit inside of you. You can coax more people with honey. You can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. So this is about learning what technique really works and honoring that you know how to do that. You know how to be nice and gentle and kind, and you know how to still stand up for your integrity and say, well, this is still what I believe. And if you can't bring that other person along with you, you're not going to beat them over the head. You're not going to, fight with them like the petty queen does. You're going to take a more exalted realm and look at things. Here's the final card, the outcome card. You're going to take a more higher level understanding of things, and you're going to be willing to listen to somebody else and go deeply within themselves as you go deeply within yourself. And you're going to learn that you don't have to hide your inspiration. You can bring it out and you can share it, and you can learn how to hold it as your integrity without demanding that others do the same thing. And therein is that sense of, I'll stand up for this myself, whether nobody else believes it or not. You will never know until you stand up and do it. You will never know until you stand up and share it. And you will be by yourself if you beat everybody around with the cudgel of your truth. But if you share the sense of your truth as a plate of honor that people can partake from, and they don't have to unless they feel called to, and that they resonate with that truth, then will you be the true queen in her highest sense of herself, calling people to participate, but learning that and trusting that everyone has their own place and their time of doing things. And she can bring, the queen inside of you can bring a lot of people together with you. If you open to that gentleness, that kindness, that thoughtfulness, that magnanimity, that graciousness, that trust that the highest sense of the queen has to offer at this time. Ahom Atakwiyas, and blessed be.